Hello, welcome to Galaxy of the Force, a Star Wars podcast for kids. I'm Joseph, and I'm 6 years old. And this is Shay.
I'm Joseph's parent.
Welcome back. So we've recorded our last two episodes in the summer holiday. So we were off camping this week, so we couldn't record an episode. So this week, 3 episodes come out. One today, anytime probably just after we record it, and we're recording it now. One on Thursday, and today is Tuesday, and one on Saturday, our normal time. So we do the Thursday and the Saturday both at 7 o'clock.
Sounds good to me, Joseph.
And this one straight after we record it. You got it? You got it? So, what's so exciting about today is we're going to see my favourite character, and we're on the last trilogy. I think that's the most important
thing. It is. We're on the final trilogy, the sequel trilogy. And before we get on to introducing this, I want to recap, Joseph, by doing a little quiz for you about the original trilogy. Are you ready?
No. Okay, it's about the Phantom Menace.
No, I'm just going to do it about the original trilogy.
Wait, if you find one about
I'm going to skip it. I'm just going to question you on the original trilogy because it's the last one that we did. I'm going to ask you 5 questions and we're going to answer them as quickly as possible.
We didn't do this for the Phantom.
No, we didn't. We didn't do it for the prequels.
Is it okay if I call the prequels the Phantom Menace? Because I can't remember the name.
Yeah, that's fine.
So okay. The prequels.
We didn't do this for the prequels, but because it's been a few weeks since our last episode, I thought I'd do it about the originals. Okay?
Okay. Sometimes when life troubles try get on top of me, I like to... Sorry.
You've got that song in your head, haven't you?
I like to play ball things graced around property, and when that is the case, it's got to be. I like to play. Hey, let's all play Monopoly.
So we've been at a festival this weekend where Joseph
saw... A festival, camping, caravanning and glamping. We were camping. I went there last year and the year before, but the year before last year I was actually glamping.
So this year we were camping again and we saw a duo that Joseph loves, we all love, called Harry and Chris, and it was a bit of a surprise that they were performing together, and they sang their song Monopoly, which we love.
We got Harry's new book. We already had Harry's last 2 books.
Anyway, so Joseph's been singing that song Monopoly since we got back. Right,
the words
back to...
I teach them words, we teach them the theme of Star Wars.
Right, here we go.
Yeah, the answer is?
Here we go for our quiz.
I think it's Star Wars.
Okay, Joseph. Question 1. Which hand does Luke Skywalker lose fighting Darth Vader under Cloud City? What was your answer?
Right.
His right hand. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
It is his right hand, correct. Who does Princess Leia give the Death Star plans to before she's captured by Darth Vader?
R2-D2.
That's right, and who does she tell him to find?
The Rebel base.
No, who does she tell R2-D2? This is for a bonus point. She gives the plans to R2-D2 and she gives him instructions that he needs to find. You don't remember? It was right at the beginning. Even I remember this. It's right at the beginning of the original trilogy. He has to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, of course. Okay.
I thought it was when she put the plans in R2-D2 on the Death Star and it was giving information to the Rebel base and he had to give it to the Rebel base.
He had to give it to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Right.
And the Rebel base.
Does the Millennium Falcon cockpit seating have safety belts?
I remember this question when we've played this before. Can't remember if it's yes or no.
Well, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
What's a 50-50 chance?
There's half the chance of getting it right, half the chance of getting it wrong. What'll it be? Yes or are there safety belts in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, there are.
Yes.
Safety first. Okay, let me see a good final question for you.
Why do we have to...
Oh, I know. Okay. What does Luke Skywalker do towards the end of the Battle of Yavin when Obi-Wan's spirit speaks to him?
Wait, which film is that in?
I think A New Hope.
I don't know.
Do you remember? It's Obi-Wan's spirit speaks to him, and I think this is the Battle of Yavin is when he's fighting...
About the Death Star.
Yeah. So what does he do? Obi-Wan's spirit speaks to him, and he...
Use the Force.
That's right. So what does he not use?
His, computer.
Yeah, perfect. That's right. He turns off his computer and uses the Force instead. Right.
Use the Force.
Very nice. Thanks, Joseph, for that recap. Now, let's move on to the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, wait, first, can we introduce some characters?
Yes, that's what I was about to do. So, who are the main characters who we need to know in the sequel trilogy?
Rey.
Yes, who is Rey?
Rey is a Jakku scavenger.
So she's from Jakku and she
Oh,
scavenges.
one more notice.
Yes?
George Lucas did not direct or write so much of this film.
Yeah,
this trilogy.
that's right. You were just telling me this earlier. That
Your father told me this.
Yeah, Grandpa told you. So it turns out George Lucas, he wrote like an overarching plot that he thought should happen, but then actually someone else or other people wrote the script and directed them. So that's quite interesting. Because what I noticed about these films actually is I think the plot is very similar to episodes 4, 5 and 6, but the characters are different. So
I was saying that I don't think those characters would be in George Lucas's mind.
yeah, why do you think those characters wouldn't be in George Lucas's mind?
They're kind of like new and yeah, it's kind of very new.
In what way?
Well, how effective it is about Han Solo, about his son, about Finn, about Poe Dameron. So new characters. Well, Han Solo isn't new.
But why would George Lucas not have thought of those? What's so new about the way that they're thought about?
Well,
Feels different.
it's 30 years later. I don't think... Well, in the last one, Palpatine died, so he thought that that was a good film to stop. But then they carried on.
So he actually did intend, all the time, he intended to have 3 trilogies, maybe even 4 trilogies. But...
A 10 will be coming out soon.
Really? Episode 10?
Yeah.
I thought the Skywalker Saga is finished now.
No, it's episode 10. It's going to be about Rey teaches some younglings the Force.
Oh, where did you hear that? Where did you hear about that?
Remember?
No?
We looked it up.
What? I don't think I
Remember?
was
We
there.
were in the car. You were in the car.
Was I sleeping?
No. I think you actually may have been driving.
Oh. Well, okay. That's new news to me. Let us go back to these main characters
When
then.
it comes out, should we do an episode about it?
Of course. So Rey is a scavenger from Jakku,
Jakku?
and she's Force sensitive.
Yes.
Yeah.
In my game from my watch, I actually just started number 8.
Cool. And who else is important to know about? The main baddie. So Rey is kind of the main goodie now. Who's the main baddie? What's his name?
I can't say the main baddie.
Why not?
It's a secret.
We have definitely mentioned him in previous episodes.
No.
Okay, Joseph has just paused and explained to me who the main baddie is. It's not who I thought. Okay, so we
He
haven't
thought the
mentioned
main
this.
baddie was my favourite character, who's Han Solo's son, but he turns good at the end.
Bit like Darth Vader. Okay,
Yeah,
so
because he's Darth Vader's grandson.
And what's his name?
Ben Solo, or Ben Skywalker, because he's a Skywalker, because Darth Vader is a Skywalker, and if he's Darth Vader's grandson, then he is a Skywalker, but he is Han Solo's son, so he also known as a Solo.
Okay, and his other name is Kylo Ren.
That's his bad name.
Okay.
And his master is called Supreme Leader Snoke. He is in 7 and 8.
Right, so
And
then there's
in
another
7, for some reason, he's ginormous. In 8, he's like Hagrid.
Interesting. I still haven't seen 8. And then we have Finn as well.
By the
Who's Finn?
Hagrid is from Harry Potter.
Yes.
Because like his hand can fit all around Ray's face.
Oh, you mean that's how big Snoke is in episode 7?
No, that's how big he is in episode 8. 7
I
is
see.
massive.
Oh, I see. Okay.
7, like his foot is bigger than a human.
Oh, I see. And in 8, he's just average size for a really big person,
Like
Hagrid. Okay, I see. I thought you meant average size for an average person. Okay. Then we've got Finn. Who is Finn?
Finn is a stormtrooper deserter. So he used to work for the First Order, but on one night he drops his weapon and leaves the First Order, and
we should explain the First Order is this new group, which is like a group of baddies who want to control.
they rise from the dust of the Empire.
I see. So they're the baddies aligned to the Empire. Then you've got are they called the Rebels again?
Finn didn't know that he wasn't the only stormtrooper deserter. That night, loads of people died. For example, number 9, you meet a character called Janna, and also some
Loads of people deserted that night.
Another group of loads of stormtroopers. But Janna is kind of the main one.
Cool. So you've still got stormtroopers, but now
Finn,
instead of being answerable to the Empire, they're answerable to the First Order.
Finn's stormtrooper name is FN2187. And Poe decides him to call Finn. See, now I rethink that. Oh!
Okay, so this is something that Joseph actually recorded previously when he had a theory about why Finn was called Finn.
Why did Poe Dameron call Finn? Finn used to be a stormtrooper and worked for the First Order. Then he didn't want to work for the First Order anymore. This is what he did. Poe Dameron, so Finn told Poe Dameron his stormtrooper name, FN2187. And then Poe said, I'm gonna call you Finn. Our opinion of why he called Finn. So, the F, that must be the first letter, because it's the first thing. Then it's FN 2 times N and N. But, and then 1 plus 8 equals 9. I is the ninth letter of the alphabet. Then we put it in the middle. We're just trying to make it fit in there. He was just trying to make it fit. Well, that's our opinion. And then 7. What would she do like that? 7's a lucky number. It gets to go 3. I mean 3. Run around.
Right, so we've got, Poe Dameron. Who's Poe Dameron?
Poe Dameron knows how to fly an X-Wing and a Y-Wing. He's the best pilot in the galaxy.
Great, and how do we meet him? Is he just in 7, 8 and 9?
Well, he's actually like the first person you see in 7.
I see. And you actually told me once that, like,
Wait, no, I think
someone's-
Kylo Ren might be the first person you've seen 7. Like, so, at the start, Kylo Ren and the First Order stormtroopers and Captain Phasma evade the village, and while that happened, Poe Dameron is there. A villager named Lord Santeca gives a part of the map to Luke Skywalker. Just a part of it, not the whole of it.
That sounds quite
To
similar.
Luke. I mean, not to Luke Skywalker. Yes, to Luke Skywalker, but he gives it to Poe Dameron. It just leads to Luke Skywalker.
Ah,
And
that
he
sounds
put...
quite similar to the start of Episode 4, doesn't it?
What happens? Oh,
The
yeah.
map of the Death Star, part of the map of the
But
Death Star.
then Lord Santeca gets killed by Kylo Ren.
I see. And
Like,
you
Leia gets captured.
were also telling me that we should introduce some of the main characters who reappear in episodes 7, 8 and 9.
Han!
So there's Han Solo,
Leia!
Princess Leia is now General Leia,
Luke!
and Luke Skywalker appears. And of course, the two characters that appear in every single film in the Skywalker Saga.
R2-C3PO!
R2-D2 and C-3PO.
R2-D2 run out of power in number 7. Then he got some power at the end. BB-8 was very interested in powered R2-D2.
Oh yes, who's BB-8?
Oh, BB-8. I just mentioned BB-8.
Yes, who is BB-8?
It's Poe Dameron's droid, but then it becomes Rey's friend. So it lives with Rey, so then it's Rey's droid.
Great.
Poe Dameron is a goodie.
So I think we might be ready then for you to read us the story.
The Force Awakens. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. 30 years after the fall of the evil empire, an army known as the First Order threatens to take over the galaxy. General Leia Organa, leader of the resistance, needs to help restore to peace. So Leia sends daring X-Wing pilot Poe Dameron and his faithful droid BB-8 on a special mission to find a map that leads to her brother Luke Skywalker, the last of the Jedi. Poe and BB-8 travel to the planet Jakku, where they retrieve the map from Leia's old friend Lor San Tekka. Suddenly, the First Order attacks Commander Kylo Ren and an army of stormtroopers capture Lor and Poe. Luckily, the pilot hid the map in BB-8 and sent the droid to find help. BB-8 escapes into the desert, but the droid is soon trapped by an angry Teedo riding a luggage beast. A young scavenger named Rey feels bad for the droid and rescues BB-8. Rey doesn't have a family and BB-8 is clearly lost, so she agrees to let the droid stay with her. Meanwhile, on the First Order Star Destroyer, Kylo Ren uses the Force, a powerful energy field, to make Poe reveal that BB-8 has the map. The brave resistant pilot is about to give up hope when he is rescued by a stormtrooper. FN2187 doesn't want to fight for the First Order anymore and offers to help Poe escape. Poe and the stormtrooper climb into a special forces TIE fighter, blast off. I'm calling you Finn. That alright? Poe says to FN2187.
And we've already had your theory about why he does call him Finn.
Yeah. Just then, the Star Destroyer fires on the TIE, sending Poe and Finn crashing down to Jakku. Finn can't find any sign of Poe among the TIE fighters' wreckage, so he sets off and soon finds the pilot's droid and Rey at an outpost. Finn tells Rey about Poe and BB-8's special mission for the Resistance. Suddenly, stormtroopers appear and try to capture the trio. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 stormtroopers, maybe more behind. I don't know. Finn, Rey, and BB-8 race aboard an old space freighter and blast off. First Order TIE fighters chase after them. As Finn climbs into the gunner's seat, Rey pilots the freighter, though an old Star Destroyer wreck. The heroes escape into space. Zoom! Unfortunately, the freighter is damaged. During the wild chase, Rey makes repairs while Finn asks BB-8 to reveal the location of the secret Resistance base. Suddenly, the freighter is caught in a tractor beam and sucked into a cargo bay of a massive ship. Rey, Finn and BB-8 hide under a grating, but they are quickly discovered by a tall man and a Wookiee. It is Han Solo and his co-pilot Chewbacca, heroes of the Rebel Alliance that helped defeat the evil Empire years ago. Chewie, we're home, Han says to his furry friends. They are thrilled to finally have their stolen ship, the Millennium Falcon, back again. Rey and Finn are eager to deliver BB-8 and the map to the Resistance base, but first Han and Chewbacca have to deal with some uninvited guests, the Cancer Club and the Govian Death Gang. Han owes both gangs money and they are both eager to collect. Rey wants to help, so she tries to close the blast doors and trap the gangs, but instead she accidentally releases Han and Chewie's cargo, vicious creatures called Ravars. It is just a distraction. Han and Chewbacca need to make their escape together. What with Rey, Finn and BB-8, they blast off in the Falcon. Meanwhile, you never know what could be happening, so there's always a meanwhile in the story. Kylo Ren returns to the stronghold of the First Order, located on an ice planet. Starkiller Base is armed with a super weapon strong enough to destroy an entire solar system. We don't want our solar system to be destroyed, do we? No. We love the Sun, Mercury and all of those guys.
We
Pluto,
do. We do love
Jupiter.
Them. All of those guys, yes.
Do you know that the Sun is like 3 million, just like 3 million or 3,000 or 3 point something many Jupiters. It's way bigger than Jupiter. Jupiter is way bigger than Mercury and Earth because it's what's it called?
Jupiter.
What's after Mars? Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune. These are all giant planets.
Yeah, they're known as gas giants, aren't they? Because they're huge and they're made of gas. But you know that. So I think this might be wrong, but I think in terms of the size, like if you imagine Jupiter as a circle, if you drew a line across the middle point of that circle, then the size of Jupiter, that's called the diameter. Jupiter is 11 times
the size of Earth. And then the sun's diameter is another 10 times bigger than Jupiter. But no, way more than 10.
Well, I think if you think of it in terms of mass, like how heavy they are, the sun is like 1,000 times heavier than Jupiter. So it's much, much, much bigger. It's times.
If you put loads of Jupiters in it.
The volume of it. Now that's a different question. I can completely believe that. So I know that Jupiter. Let's see if I can find out about Jupiter's volume.
It's just 3.
Yeah, Jupiter's volume is 1,321 times that of the Earth. That's a huge, huge, huge volume compared to the Earth. And apparently, in terms of how heavy Jupiter is, it is heavier. If you put all of the other planets in the solar system together, yeah, Jupiter is 2.5 times heavier than all of the other planets combined.
Wait, but if it was with Jupiter...
If what was with Jupiter?
Wait, if it was with Jupiter or both or without Jupiter?
Without Jupiter. All of the other planets without Jupiter. Jupiter's 2.5 times bigger in terms of how heavy it is.
Then what that would make?
Yeah. So, anyway, this has been a very interesting diversion. And the only other thing to say is, you know that part of the reason why the Roman god Jupiter was king of the gods in Roman times, ancient Roman times, and that's because Jupiter was that biggest planet in the sky.
No,
so they
I
could
thought
see
the
it.
planet was named after the god.
Yeah, maybe the planet was named after the god because it was like the biggest and brightest thing besides for the sun that they could see in the sky. Well, besides for the moon, I guess, and Venus, which is so
Kylo
nearby.
Ren immediately reports to his master, Supreme Leader Snoke.
Thanks for bringing us back to Star Wars.
The droid we seek is aboard the Millennium Falcon once again, piloted by Han Solo. Snoke snarls. No one will stand in our way, Kylo Ren vows. Before flying to the Resistance base, Han Solo lands on the planet Takodina to get help from a friend. Maz is an old wise alien who lives in a grand castle. Maz tries to give away a special gift, Luke Skywalker's old lightsaber, a powerful laser sword. But when the young scavenger touches it, she has a vision of pain and suffering and runs off. So Maz asks Finn to take the lightsaber and keep it for Rey. A spy in Maz's castle alerts Kylo Ren. Soon First Order stormtroopers attack. Rey puts up a brave fight, but is captured by Ren and taken aboard his transport. Han and Chewie fire their blasters at approaching stormtroopers. Finn ignites the lightsaber and joins the battle. Suddenly, a squadron of Resistance X-Men fighters, led by Poe Dameron, zooms in and saves the day. Kylo Ren and his troops retreat to Skywalker base with Rey. Back at the Resistance base, General Leia Organa and her team come up with a plan to destroy the Starkiller and rescue Rey. Han, Chewbacca and Finn fly the Falcon to the First Order base and sneak inside. The trio quickly disable the Starkiller shields, but as they try to find Rey's prison cell, they discover she has already escaped on her own. Reunited, the heroes begin placing explosive charges in the Starkiller's cooling system. Suddenly, a dark figure appears. Kylo Ren removes his helmet and reveals that he is really Han and Leia's son, Ben Solo, and begs Ben to leave the First Order and come home with him. But Kylo has been turned to evil by Supreme Leader Snoke. The villain ignites his red lightsaber and sends his father down into a deep pit.
That was the most shocking part for me when I saw the film, Joseph. I was not expecting Kylo Ren to kill his father.
Why?
I thought that he might turn good. I thought Han Solo was going to persuade him to come back to the good side.
Because, Kylo Ren said, I can help you to Han Solo. He handed out his lightsaber. His father put his hand on it and just thinking. And then eventually, Kylo Ren pressed a button and it went into Han Solo. And just before the end of him, he stroked his son and then he fell down.
Yeah, it was so sad.
What makes it sad for you?
Well, just that, I guess it's not sad, it's just really touching that obviously Han Solo still really loves his son, even after he realises that his son has killed him. He still loves his son.
But it is sad, so why not saying now that it isn't?
No, I'm saying it's very touching, and yeah, which is a kind of sad, I guess. Right, carry on.
It's sad for me too.
It is sad. You know who else it's sad for?
Who?
Chewbacca.
Oh yeah, he roars.
He roars really loudly with grief.
Chewbacca fires his bowcaster, injuring Kylo Ren and giving the heroes a chance to escape. As Rey and Finn race across the frozen planet toward the Falcon, Kylo Ren catches up with them. The villain knocks Rey unconscious, but Finn wields Luke Skywalker's lightsaber to protect his friend. Unfortunately, the former stormtrooper is no match for Kylo Ren and is quickly defeated. But before Kylo Ren can deliver the final blow, Rey awakens and uses the Force to levitate the blue lightsaber right into her hand. With the Force as her ally, the young scavenger reveals herself to be a powerful warrior. This lightsaber battle comes to a sudden end when explosions create a deep crater between Rey and Kylo Ren. Chewbacca flies on the Millennium Falcon and helps Rey carry the injured Finn on board. The heroes blast off just as Poe Dameron and his X-Wing squadron fire their torpedoes at the Starkiller. The First Order's superweapon is destroyed.
Yay! That's a relief.
But Snoke isn't.
Shh. No spoilers. Right, carry on.
Kaboom! Back at the Resistance base, BB-8 protects the star map.
Projects the star map.
I said projects.
Sorry.
I actually said protects. Projects the star map to Luke Skywalker's location. Unfortunately, the crucial part is missing. Luke Skywalker's... Hang on. You remember when they've all been saying that the First Order has the other parts, but Luke Skywalker's old astromech droid R2-D2 suddenly reactivates and reveals the final piece of the map.
Yes.
They thought that the First Order had it this whole time.
And actually, it was R2-D2.
Rey and Chewbacca blast off in the Millennium Falcon and follow the map to a beautiful planet covered by blue water and green islands. They land on a mountain. Didn't know that in my game thing on my watch, Chewbacca roars and then Rey said, "I agree. Why would a Jedi go to such a desolate planet?"
Such a desolate planet. Why do you think a Jedi might go to such a desolate planet? What does desolate mean?
It means that, like a bit lonely and very plain.
Yeah, very alone. That's well done. So why do you think Luke Skywalker might have gone to like such a lonely planet where there's no one else around?
It's because, well, because he feel like he was the last Jedi and he couldn't do it, so the Jedi had to end.
So he went to be alone.
Because in number 8...
Oh, no spoilers. Come on, let's finish this story.
We were talking about characters
but come on, let's finish this story. So
Rey climbs a stone staircase and meets a hooded figure. The figure lowers his hood, revealing the face of... Da. Kidding you, it's not a Darth, it's Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker! The face of Luke Skywalker.
Rey hands the Jedi Master his old lightsaber. There has been an awakening in the Force, and young Rey knows that she has an exciting future ahead of her. So,
very exciting.
That was the end.
So what do you think, Joseph, of number 7? What would you give it? Out of 5. How many stars?
Do 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 do. That's the Kylo Ren music. I give it 5.
5 out of 5. You know, I think there are so many similarities with A New Hope. Even the fact like they destroy the Death Star, the fact that
What about
someone
it's
has the
like-
Force but they don't realise they have the Force. It's all yeah, feels very similar to me. And I loved watching this film. I really enjoyed it when it first came out.
That I was so the original trilogy and the Phantom Menace trilogy prequel.
Yeah,
Not Phantom Menace trilogy.
the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy.
I wasn't born before that, but I think I was born how much time before number 7 came out?
No, I think you were born after number 7 came out.
No, I was
Just
born
after number
before.
7 came out. Because that's why I didn't watch number 8, because you had just been born, so I didn't go and see it at the cinema.
Oh.
But number 7 came out just before you were born.
And then how much time was I born after number 7?
I don't know, maybe not quite a year. Nearly a year. So
Nearly. And then how old was I when number 8 came out? 4?
no,
No.
number 8 came out when you were just born. You were a few weeks old, I think.
How many weeks old?
Maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks old.
Okay, then that would be like a month or just less.
I think so, yeah. I'll look it up before we record our number 8 episode. That can be a fun fact for us.
When 9 came out, I was 4.
Is that right? Okay, thanks, Joseph. See you next time, everyone.
But.
Bye!
No, not but bye.
You never like saying goodbye. You always want to carry
I'm
on.
not saying goodbye.
Right, what is it
but-
then? Quickly.
I want to talk about the feelings of the film, what
Okay.
happened and how it affects us.
Okay. What's the thing that you find most affecting? What affects you the most? Is it when
Han Solo dies.
Han Solo dies? It's a really sad bit, isn't it?
Mm.
How do you feel about that?
When you told me about it before I had seen the film, I was really surprised, and they did it in a way that you didn't tell me. Like, it did it in a different way that you told me, and it was a much sadder way, and I felt and I was and I was really sad.
No, I'm sorry, darling. It is sad. The great thing about the Force is that all these people who die in the Force, they become one with the Force, don't they? And then they
What
still...
about Padme?
That's a really good question. Do we ever see Padme again?
No.
Maybe not. Maybe one day they'll make a Star Wars film where we do see Padme at peace and at one with the Force.
Remember, I've said I've said that there will be a number 10 coming out soon.
You did say that.
And Ray trains some younglings.
I mean, I would really like to see more Jedi and more training and things like that going on. But that might be one for us to discuss it in a later episode, mightn't it?
When it comes out, we'll do it straight away.
Definitely. For now, I think it's time to say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye.
See you all
Night,
next
night.
time. Yeah, it's night for us, but probably morning for you when you're listening.
But they can listen to this for a podcast.
At night.
Before you go to sleep, to help you go to sleep. So night.
Night.
And it is red on the thing, which makes you quite sleepy.
It does. It looks red for us when we're recording. Take care, everyone. Till next time.
Bye bye, night night. Don't sleep tight. Oh,
Do sleep tight.
don't kill your father.
Jesus. Yeah, don't be like Kylo Ren.